Hello, Dr. Morta. I am Ryan Aguanson, and I will discuss in this video my midterm report about a case study under perception, attribution, and learning. On this presentation, the case study will focus on perception. The research study title is Exploring Students' Perceptions About Learning in School, an activity theory-based study. On this video presentation, the topics to be discussed are the following: the researcher, the year, and the website, the objective of the study, methodology, the major findings, and lastly, the implications to managerial decisions. The researchers of this study are Yelena Portov-Nieman and Moshe Barak from Ben Gurion University of Negev, Beersheba, Israel. The research was received by the Journal of Education and Learning last February 14, 2013, and it was accepted after 3 months on May 29, 2013. And finally, it was published online by Canadian Centre of Science and Education last July 12, 2013. There are 3 objectives of the study. First, to understand the perceptions of junior high school students about the 5 major activity system aspects: objects, tools, division of labor, community, and rules in the context of learning in school. Next is to recognize how the students' perceptions about these aspects intercorrelate or contradict. And lastly, to identify other activity systems that might support or contradict learning in school. On how the study was conducted, let's look into the methodologies used by the researchers. The participants of the study are 70 junior high school students from 9th grade coming from 5 different schools in the southern region of Israel. The methods used were the following: close-ended Likert type questionnaire, where we will discuss in more details on the next slide, and also there are open-ended questions, as well as random interviews were done to the participants. Then lastly, using the qualitative data analysis. The first method used in this study is the close-ended Likert type questionnaire. There are 26 Likert type questions prepared that are related to the 5 categories of the activity theory model using the second generation as shown below. Activity theory is a framework or descriptive tool for a system where people are socio-culturally embedded actors with the existence of hierarchical analysis of motivated human action. Let's look into the different categories of the activity theory model. First, the tools, where the internal mental science and external physical objects that facilitates and support thinking processes and regulate interaction between the individual and the world. There are 4 questions on this category. Next, the subject is the individual or subgroup involved in the activity. Rules are the norms, regulations, convention, and guidance that afford or constrain action and interaction within an activity system. There are 8 questions for this category. Next is community, where multiple individuals and subgroups involved in an activity. There are 6 questions. Division of labor, distribution of work and responsibilities between members of the community. There are 4 questions. And lastly, the object or the outcome, where the problem, space, or recipient of action to which the activity is directed to be molded or transformed in reaching the outcome that is sought. There are 4 questions. There are also open-ended questions where the students were asked to explain their answers or give examples in their own words after each of the 26 closed-ended items. There are semi-structured interviews carried out to 25 randomly selected students, 5 to 8 students from each school. The researcher held about half-hour interviews with the students in groups. For the last method, the qualitative data analysis followed the common phases of qualitative interpretative analysis, which are open coding of meaning units, categorization of codes, examining the relationships among them, and imparting meaning. For the results of the study, there are 4 major findings where students regarded the aspect of rules as being the least important aspect of learning in schools and the category of object as being the most important. Let's discuss each findings. Firstly, we found that the students understand and appreciate the importance of learning for their future and are ready to invest efforts in succeeding in school. This is an important point because it counters the common complaints that students do not want to learn or do not care about school. Secondly, the findings indicated that students afford only moderate importance to the contribution of tools such as books and computers to learning. In the current study, however, the findings show that students consider the teacher as the main source of knowledge, while books or computers are just complementary aids for learning or practicing the required subject matter. Thirdly, although according to activity theory, community plays a major role in learning, our students have very little opportunity to collaborate with their peers or other people in learning, either in school or at home. They see just their parents as a useful sources for help in studying at home. Fourthly, it was found that students do not feel the school rules contribute to learning. This has to do with the fact that these rules are imposed upon them and the students are not involved in forming them or deciding about them. The third generation of activity theory helped us get a broader picture of students learning in school and other related activities as illustrated below. All three systems encompasses tools, community, and division of labor, which might partially overlap between the three systems. This is the third generation activity theory model as proposed by Engerstrom that intends to develop conceptual tools to understand dialogues, multiple perspectives, and networks of interacting activity systems. He draws on ideas on dialogicality and multi-voicedness in order to expand the framework of the second generation. To correlate the third generation activity theory model to the case study, where social life, school, and family shared a common object, that this framework examines the interaction between several activity systems students are involved in. The outcome of this study provided a meaningful perspective on how students perceive school improvements in order to help educators in their effort to reform our educational system. There are 2 points that the study have implications to managerial decisions. First, knowing the different values that students define a quality academic life, school administrators can properly establish appropriate academic programs that has direct impact and importance to the students. This can help academic programs where to focus, and based on the study, should put emphasis on 3 subjects: the school or the tools, the social life or the community, and family or the division of labor, and at the same time identify the common objects within the 3 subjects to deliver balance to a student's life. Before I finish, here are the references used in this video presentation. That is the end of my midterm report presentation for the organizational behavior subject. Thank you for watching this presentation.